Thank you so much, Arlen. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for joining today. And thanks to the Ed Leaders Network as well. So my name is Jordan, and I am the Marketing and Partnerships Manager for Track It Forward. We're a software company that helps schools track volunteer hours. So today we'll be exploring effective strategies for parent engagement, and that is informed by data we've collected via our own research, as well as school surveys we've conducted with our customers. So I'll give a quick overview here of the agenda. First, I'll introduce Track It Forward and share a little bit about what we do. And then we'll dive right into the problems that are facing parent volunteer programs and some effective strategies to help solve them. And then we'll end with school case studies and open it up to some questions from the audience. And if at any time you have questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to put them in the chat so you don't forget them. And again, we'll address them at the end. So a little bit about Track It Forward. We offer efficient volunteer time tracking software for schools. School volunteers can easily sign up for events, log their hours, and administrators can collect volunteer information and generate custom reports. We have hundreds of schools using Track It Forward across the country for their parent and student volunteer programs. And again, I'm happy to share more about Track It Forward at the end for anybody who has questions. So let's talk about parent volunteer programs. There are lots of different kinds of parent volunteer programs that schools can implement. Many schools also have more than one. Some of the examples I've laid out here are school managed programs, PTA or PTO programs, and booster clubs. So school managed programs involve school-wide volunteer opportunities and are typically managed by school staff, usually as part of a larger parent engagement initiative. Parent-teacher associations, of course, are usually jointly led by parents and faculty. And then, of course, booster clubs also have that more narrow focus of fundraising, for specific extracurricular programs, marching bands, sports teams. As you are aware, I'm sure many of your schools have booster clubs as well. So regardless of the type of program, many of these parent volunteer programs face the same problem. We surveyed our current school customers to learn more about these. So based on their responses, some of the top problems that parent volunteer programs face are, first off, not enough parents volunteer. This is something that we have heard across the board. The second one being parents feel that they can't find volunteer opportunities or don't know where to go. And then third would be a lack of program organization and tracking. So these are all some of the top problems that parent volunteer programs face. And we are going to go into these in depth and review some strategies that you can implement to help solve them. So let's talk about that. Okay, so this top problem that is facing many volunteer programs, not enough parents are volunteering. And there are various reasons why. This is definitely not a comprehensive list, but some of the top reasons that we found. First, parents may not realize the importance of volunteering at the school. Second, parents might feel that the efforts they do put in are not being recognized. And then third, parents may face additional barriers to volunteering. So we're going to dig into what these reasons look like and a good strategy to help solve them. So this first strategy is to educate, recognize, and reduce barriers. We want to address those issues that parents are facing that may lead to their decision not to volunteer or lead to lower engagement. So first, we'll talk about the educate portion. It might be necessary to help educate parents about the importance of volunteering and to do it multiple times. It doesn't always sink in the first time. Parent engagement in schools has a positive impact on student outcomes, and that has been proven in studies by the U.S. Department of Education. It can result in improved student motivation, higher grades and test scores, and better attendance and social skills. So it's clear to see that there are benefits, not only for the school, for the students as well, when parents are more engaged with the school. And the second piece of that is to recognize parents for contributions they make to the school. So volunteer recognition is an important part of any volunteer program, and parents are no different. So here are some ways that you might be able to recognize parents who volunteer. And of course, you want to make this program aware, or you want to make parents aware of this program. So some options for recognizing parents include creating a recognition system based on volunteer hours, sending shout outs to parents via newsletters, and hosting parent appreciation events. And for the past strategy, which was educate, and this one recognize, those definitely go hand in hand in terms of communicating with parents. You want to make sure that you're getting the message out there about the importance of volunteering at the school, giving solid examples, and also about your school-wide volunteer program and the recognition portion that you have in place as well. And then the third part, which is possibly one of the most important parts of the strategy, is reducing barriers to volunteering or making it easy. So when it's easy to volunteer, more parents are likely to do it. There are several ways that your school can work to reduce barriers. Basically, you can start by centralizing volunteer information and events on a single web page. So I think that's really important to have a single place where parents can go to find out all of the information about volunteering, about the program, make it easy access, send out this link in newsletters, things like that. And then the second part is communicate with parents in multiple ways and languages. So it's important to communicate with parents in different ways to meet them where they're at. It could be text, email, take-home paper newsletters even, things like that. And also, if you can communicate in different languages, if your parent demographic calls for that, that's very important to be inclusive and to meet parents where they are. Another part of meeting parents where they're at is offering volunteer opportunities at different times and places. So for example, instead of offering only in-class volunteer opportunities during the day, you want to see if you can offer volunteer opportunities after work hours, on the weekend, or even remotely. We'll get into that and some ideas for unique volunteer opportunities in the next few slides here. But again, this portion about reducing the barriers, just making it as easy as possible for parents to get the information they need about volunteering and to offer ways for them to volunteer that work for them is really important when it comes to increasing parent engagement. All right, so this brings me to the second top problem that parent volunteer programs face, and that is parents feel that they can't find volunteer opportunities. This might be because they don't know where to go to learn about them, or it could be that they can't find opportunities that fit their needs or interests. Schools that face this problem may be providing lots of opportunities quantity-wise, but in terms of what those opportunities are, it might not always fit the needs of their parent demographic. So that's something really important to take into account. And we'll talk about some different ways to solve this. So the second strategy to apply to the second problem is to provide a variety of visible volunteer opportunities. This will help solve the problem of parents feeling like they can't find them. So first, we'll talk about the variety aspect. It's important to provide a variety of opportunities for parents to engage in. Different parents have different skills, interests, and schedules. Providing different opportunities allows parents to engage in the way that best suits their needs. So we have some ideas from our current customers about different opportunities to try. First is in-kind donations, where each item or dollar amount could equal an hour of volunteering if you're tracking hours in that way. This allows parents who might not have as much time to still be able to give in a certain way. And again, if it's providing, an in-kind donation in terms of supplies, classroom supplies, event supplies, things like that. Remote volunteering is where parents with certain skill sets can complete online administrative tasks, or perhaps they can do at-home prep work for events or classrooms. You also want to think outside the classroom. Parents could be involved in school photography, yearbook design, gardening, marketing, and more. These are all examples that we've seen some of our customer schools actually implement. So really sort of different and creative ways to get parents involved and utilize their different skill sets. You also want to be sure to ask school staff what they could use help with to get more ideas of ways for parents to engage. And it's also a good idea, if you can, to send out a survey to parents at the beginning of the year to get some ideas about what their different skill sets are, what they're interested in, and that can help inform the volunteer opportunities that you offer as well. So the second aspect here is visibility. One of the best ways to make sure that volunteer opportunities are visible to parents is to create a centralized calendar. With this calendar, parents can view all the upcoming volunteer opportunities or recurring shifts. If you have shifts, you might use that for something like daily events like a classroom helper or traffic duty, something like that. The calendar should include events for the PTA and booster clubs as well to get everybody involved. And I've got a list here of some good things to keep in mind when you think about setting up an event calendar for volunteer events. So first is the process. How do parents know when to check the calendar? Are you sending out reminders or notifications? Do you have a system in place that can collect RSVPs, for example? Next part is navigation. So is there a way to filter the calendar by interest or events? How can parents navigate the calendar to find what works best for them? And then the information, of course. Are you including enough info on the event sign up so people know what they are committing to? Is the contact person for that shift or event listed on the event there? So again, parents just have to go to one place to find out all the information they need. These questions can help streamline the process and make it easier for parents. So you want to consider all of these things when you think about setting up an event calendar. So, and I do see that we've got a question in the chat, and I'm going to come back to all the questions at the end. So again, please feel free to put them in as they come up, and we will get to them. I want to address here the third problem, which is the lack of program organization and tracking. So this is another thing that we had heard from schools, one of the problems that their parent programs faced. And there's a couple of different reasons for this. So it could be that there's no formal school-wide volunteer program, which means that it might be segmented into the people who run the PTA do that, the people who do the booster clubs do that, and they don't communicate or engage with each other. There might not be a program coordinator to help organize parents. That's something very important to help keep parents organized and communicate with them. Or potentially there's no time tracking or reporting system. So any of these can contribute to the larger problem and result in the lower parent engagement, which of course we want to avoid. So let's talk about some ways that we can help solve this. So this brings us to the third strategy, which would be to formalize and connect your existing parent volunteer program. We'll start with formalize. So schools can formalize parent engagement by creating a school-wide parent volunteer program. Hallmarks of a formalized program include tracking volunteer hours, reporting on parent engagement, and having a clear communication plan. Schools can designate a volunteer coordinator or program manager among the staff to help organize volunteers. I think that's very important to help formalize your program and also have a point person that parents can go to when it comes to learning about volunteer opportunities and things like that. You want to evaluate your current program structure by asking questions like, where do parents turn to if they have volunteer questions? Where do they find the volunteer opportunities? How can they sign up for events and track hours? And then if you don't already have a system in place, it's important to implement a time tracking and reporting process, which can help you measure parent engagement and program impact year over year. All right, the second step of this is connect. So we want to connect existing parent volunteer opportunities school-wide. You want to be able to connect the leadership of the PTA, booster clubs, or other volunteer programs or groups like classroom helpers. Having a program coordinator can help bring these groups together. It's also important to explain the benefits of increased collaboration to these groups who might be used to operating independently, but by working together and publicizing their different fundraising and volunteer opportunities, they can reach more people and get more volunteers across groups. All right, so I like to summarize this section. I know that was a lot of information that we went through in terms of these top problems and strategies to solve them. So again, the first problem was that not enough parents volunteer, very common problem for programs. This is a multi-step strategy which involves parent education, parent recognition, and reducing barriers to volunteering. So making it easy, meeting parents where they're at. Second problem is that parents feel they can't find volunteer opportunities. The strategy to help solve this is to provide a variety of visible opportunities, so many different kinds at many different times, and make sure that they are visible, that parents know where to go to get this information. And then the final problem that we listed here again was the lack of program organization and tracking. So to help solve this, you'll want to formalize your program and connect your existing volunteer programs as well. So that brings me to our case study section. We have some real life examples of schools who have implemented some of these strategies and use Track It Forward to help do that and to help streamline their parent program. So I'll start with North Star Academy. North Star Academy is a charter school located in Colorado, and they have a robust parent volunteer program. Parents volunteer on average 40 hours per year. They can volunteer for things like traffic duty, accelerated reading programs, school picture day support, and more. They have a formal school-wide program with a coordinator. They utilize time tracking, an event calendar, and provide this variety of opportunities. As their program coordinator puts it, volunteering is a part of their school culture. So I'd like to share some of the top features of Track It Forward software that North Star uses to help streamline their program and implement these. These top features are custom profile fields, mobile app, and check-in kiosk. I'll just go over these real quick. So with custom profile fields, they can collect parent information when they sign up. So when students first enroll in the school, a part of the welcome to parents includes this information about how to sign up to volunteer. And here they can collect the parent information, such as if they're a 1 or 2 parent household, and what type of volunteer work they're interested in. So they incorporate that type of a survey right in their sign up. And parents can use the mobile app that we offer to log their hours quickly and on the go. There's also a check-in kiosk feature, which can be set up on a shared device like a tablet. And there parents can find their name and just check in and out on site. And as soon as they check out, the hours are automatically calculated and logged. This is a great thing to have at the front desk if parents need to check in anyway when they come to campus to volunteer. And then I'd also like to share a case study from Greer Middle College High School. So Greer Middle College High School is a charter school as well in South Carolina. They have student community service hours and parent school service hours, and they use Track It Forward to manage both. They have shared that they feel like the system is very user-friendly. They have a lot of families to keep track of. So a couple of the top features that Greer Middle College uses, they use a milestones feature in Track It Forward, which allows them to track volunteer hours at different levels. This is a great thing to use for a recognition system for parents. And it also allows administrators to kind of view parent progress or volunteering at a glance. Milestones can be set up and customized to restart at the end of every semester or every year, however you are interested in setting that up to recognize parents and students as well. They also use these advanced verification features. So advanced verifications in Track It Forward include photo uploads, signatures, GPS. All of those things can be included in the hour log submission. They use this for both their parents and students. So in this photo is an example of a photo upload field being used to confirm in-kind donations. And then as well for students, they can collect signatures on site from the person overseeing their community service activities. I'd also like to talk about the event calendar feature. So Track It Forward has a built-in event calendar that is connected to the volunteer profiles and hour logging process. This is a feature that's used by most of our schools to help coordinate their parent volunteer activities and opportunities. So this use case is a good example of how to implement the strategies like reducing barriers and increasing visibility of opportunities. So in Track It Forward, the way it works is that schools can create this event calendar, categorize their events based on the opportunity. For example, they could categorize if it's in person or remote or an in-kind donation for an event. And then parents can filter those opportunities and they can sign up and receive automatic notifications for the event. Once they're on site, administrators can mark attendance using a digital sign-in sheet, after which the hours are automatically logged. Another cool thing is that the event calendar and hours can be embedded directly on the school website. So again, parents only have to go to one place to get all the information that they need and to sign up. I just wanted to give an example as well of our event calendar. This is just a screenshot here, but it's completely customizable. So administrators can set up events by category, and that can be used to filter the calendar. You can also view how many people have RSVP'd for a certain event. So for example, if it's at its maximum, it won't allow additional signups. Parents can click the event to view the details, to RSVP, the contacts that organize there, again, which is important on any type of event calendar that you use. Make sure that that point person is clearly listed if parents have questions. And then in this case, events can also be broken up as shifts. So one event can have multiple shifts throughout the day. If you have a fall carnival or something and you want parents to sign up for a specific time, for example. I'd also like to share here just a few quotes that we have from our customers. Some feedback that we get most often is that the system is really easy to use and saves time. So we appreciate that, of course. So we have schools that have been using the programs for several years to manage it. It is and have found it very useful and easy to use. Parents can log hours on their phones, which makes it simple. And this last one I have to say is one of my favorites. They say it's whittled down the hours it takes to organize parent volunteers. It saves time and money, which is something that everybody wants, and of course we love to hear. So I'd like to share some more resources as well that we have at Track It Forward. You can go to our website, which I'm going to include in the chat here. And We offer different resources on parent engagement, articles, videos, things like that. We also have a parent engagement newsletter that people can sign up for. If they are interested, you can just email me and I can help you take care of that and get signed up. It's a great way to get a weekly update on articles or other topics that we have about parent engagement as well. And then I want to go ahead and open it up here to any questions that anybody has. I know it's a lot of information that we covered in the session today, and so I want to go ahead and open it up. And if you have questions, put them in the chat, and I will be happy to help answer them. So I can go ahead and start. We had somebody ask about a preferred portal that works best in terms of event calendars. There are lots of different kinds. I showed you Track It Forward does offer one that can help you organize your volunteers. I have seen people use Google Calendar, for example, and make the opportunities public, or have like a shared calendar that people can log into, things like that. So there are a lot of different ones out there depending on your need, but Track It Forward does offer one as well. Any other questions about parent engagement that I can try and help answer to the best of my ability? Feel free to put them in the chat. I'll just go back here. Earlier, a couple of things parents that people put in the beginning that they were interested in, takeaways. So ways to get parents more involved at different school levels or with different meetings. So I think it's important to publicize the different opportunities you have and the different ways that parents can get involved. Parents can't sign up for things if they don't know about them. So making sure that you are communicating with families and communicating in the ways that work best for them. So maybe you send out a communication survey or something like that to see how parents prefer to be communicated with. If parents prefer to text versus email, it's really important to try and set that up to make that happen. You can do texting through Google Voice, for example, something that you can set up with your school and have someone help monitor that. And then, of course, just really want to make sure that you incorporate volunteering as part of your school culture. This isn't something that happens overnight, of course, but think about ways that you can incorporate parents, volunteers, and their feedback in all aspects of the school and the education process, and that will help promote engagement overall. All right, and I just wanted to share one more offer here that we are doing for ELN members. So for Track It Forward, if you are interested, we'd like to offer a free 90-day trial. It's no strings attached, no credit card required. You just get full functionality and access for 90 days to see if it's something that could potentially work for your program. So you just go to trackitforward.com and use the code ELN to get started. I'll put that in the chat as well. And if you have any questions about anything related to Track It Forward or as a parent engagement, or you're interested in our newsletter, anything like that, please let me know. You can email me and we can talk about that. So go ahead and close it out here or hand it over to Arlen. Yeah.
Perfect. Jordan, thank you so much for those wonderful strategies and how to get parents involved and keep them engaged, and how Track It Forward can help with that. I really appreciate that. And I love that you can get a 90-day free trial. I wasn't aware that that was going to be part of the deal, so that is terrific. Use the code ELN to get 90 days free, no credit card required. That's fantastic. All right, you've got Jordan's email address too, jordan at trackitforward.com. If you want to follow up with her on any questions that maybe you didn't get answered, or any questions about Track It Forward, you are free to do that. I'm going to bring the recording to a close.